Good Wednesday evening, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back, Southwest Arkansas Weather. This is something new that we're going to start to do here on your Wednesdays. We're calling it Weather Wisdom Wednesdays. And what our goal is with this is the things that you often hear us talk about, like what we're going to talk about today, which is understanding the Storm Prediction Center outlooks or our severe weather outlooks when we talk about there's a slight chance severe weather or there's a marginal risk. We're going to hopefully talk about what those mean and hopefully be able to help grow the understanding of what these mean and why, or when we talk about them, so hopefully people can go, oh hey, okay, I know what that means now, and get a better understanding on what we're talking about. We plan to do this throughout each Wednesday, going over different topics that we often mention and some of the different processes that the Storm Prediction Center or other things do, and just different things that we often bring up and mention, just to hopefully help give you a better understanding of what these things mean. And to start off, let's talk about the Storm Prediction Center. The SPC is what we like to call it. This is a branch of the National Weather Service. It's located in Norman, Oklahoma. It issues forecasts for thunderstorms over the next 8 days. One thing also, this is where when you're into day 1 to 3, you have your severe weather risk, which include all level 1 through 5. And then when you get to your day 4 through 8, you only have the slight and enhanced risk, or the 2 and 3 on there for your severe weather outlooks on that time frame. And when you get to your day 1 and 2 is when you get your potential or your different potential outlooks for your tornado threat, your damaging wind threat, and large hail threat. Those all start to be produced there as well as you get into that day 1 to day 2 time frame. So these forecasts are show areas that are that have a threat of severe thunderstorms and how high that threat is. It's based on categories of probability that a severe weather event will occur within a 25 miles of a given location. Lightning and flooding are just as deadly as tornadoes, but these are not really included in the severe weather outlooks. This is for mainly your tornado threat, large hail threat, damaging wind threat, and those are more the flooding potential. That'll be on another thing that we have, which is for your excessive rainfall outlooks. Those are produced by another branch of the National Weather Service, which is your Weather Prediction Center, and that has more of a that's more on their side of things. The Storm Prediction Center really focuses on the potential of severe thunderstorms and different information there as well. So let's talk about the description or the breaking down the different categories of your severe weather outlook. And starting off with the green colored area, this is your marginal risk, which is a 1 out of 5. And this is basically means isolated severe thunderstorms are possible. You can expect strong to occasionally severe storms with these, or thunderstorms that are generally short-lived. They're not really long-lived storms. These storms generally lack the organization, but can still drop up to a quarter-size inch hail, produce gusty winds, and frequent lightning as well. Once again, lightning's not a thing that can cause a severe weather outlook to be produced, but it is something that is a product of thunderstorms. But this outlook, is very common. It occurs a lot of times just throughout the year. Sometimes you'll see them on just different little vents or on the outside of slight risk. And they're still, even if you're in a marginal or a high risk, you still need to stay weather aware. And another thing is, during these risks, it doesn't necessarily mean that your specific area, every time you're under a severe weather risk, is going to see a severe storm. It means basically the atmosphere has that possibility and has the conditions to produce severe storms. So once again, not every area is going to see a severe storm with all these risks, but there's that potential for it to occur in the risk area that they put out throughout the different severe weather events and stuff of that nature that we have. And then you have the slight risk, which is a category 2, which is that yellow color that you see there. It basically means scattered severe thunderstorms could be possible. These are usually short-lived, but sometimes you may have a chance to get a few intense storms there with a slight risk. But isolated severe storms won't necessarily be widespread, but they still may produce isolated tornadoes. spotty wind damage, and hail in excess of 1 inch in diameter. Also, with the marginal risk, you always have to watch for a very low-end tornado threat, possibly with those, if the conditions are right. But they're not. Once you go a little higher, you start to get into that slight risk category and such of that area. This outlook is common, especially down here during our spring months in what we call our severe weather season. Even though we can have severe weather throughout all of all of the year, but it's more common kind of in this time frame of the year, from your March, April time frame down here, and even a little earlier potentially there as well. But definitely something that we often see down here as well. Even though this outlook is this outlook level is called slight, weather that can occur in this risk is still has a chance to produce storms that can be just as dangerous, if not more, just as dangerous that occur as the same that occurs in really a high risk. Isolated severe storms sometimes may produce significant tornadoes, very large hail, or even some stronger damaging wind gusts and such there as well. If the Storm Prediction Center or the SPC believes that a severe weather may occur from a single thunderstorm or has low confidence in a severe thunderstorm event occurring, the forecast probabilities can be lowered, and categories can be lowered if they feel that need. So that's something also to be on the lookout for. You got to remember, the atmosphere is almost like a fluid. It's always changing, and you always got to stay weather aware for the newest information leading up to the events. And we'll talk more about this next week and what the Storm Prediction Center does with the different products that they talk about and that they produce, and what we talk about a lot, like your mesoscale discussions and your watches and your warnings and stuff of that nature. That'll be in next Wednesday's little video vlog that we're going to do going over this. So now going up to your enhanced risk, or your category 3, that's your orange color. More persistent and widespread storms are expected. Thunderstorms may produce a few tornadoes and pockets of wind and hail damage. Not all storms will be severe, but a few storms could be intense with these as well. That's one step up in between the slight and the moderate risk there, your 2 and 4 risk. But those are also a risk that you have to watch for as well. And if you'll notice, the higher you go up in these severe weather risks, the more storms that you could possibly see that could be severe across the area. That's one thing to note with this. The better chance that you have of seeing more than just one severe storm or two kind of increases with that risk there as well. Then on your moderate risk, or your category 4, that red colored area there as well, as you can see there, widespread severe thunderstorms are likely. Most storms that form will reach severe criteria, and several tornadoes and numerous thunderstorms containing large hail and damaging winds are likely. This risk is uncommon, and it's generally used only when supercells are capable of producing strong tornadoes, or long-lived squall lines are expected to produce widespread damaging wind gusts. And these risks are typically issued only a few times a year. Once you get to the 4 and 5 on your severe weather scale, these are not near as common as you get throughout the year and stuff of that nature. These are not issued as commonly as a level 1, 2, or 3, and that's a really good way to with them not being as common. People go, oh hey, wait a minute, this is a little bit higher of a risk. Let's pay attention. And really, if you are under a severe weather risk, if it's a 1 or level 5, you should still stay the same on the amount of attention that you give to severe weather potential there as well, because they all still have the chance of producing severe weather. So it's always worth just keeping a close eye on it and staying weather aware, as we always say. Once again, though, then as you head into the final risk, or your level 5, a high risk, these are for widespread severe thunderstorms are expected. A severe weather outbreak is expected with multiple tornadoes and or destructive long-lived derecho, which we'll talk more about these terms later on, but that basically that'll be something that we bring up later on as well. Damage is expected. Tornadoes that do occur in and around this area are expected to become strong, EF2 or plus, or violent, EF4 or plus, and / or long track. According to the SPC, this risk is reserved for when the highest confidence exists in a widespread coverage of severe weather with embedded instances of extreme severe weather. Not everyone in the high risk area will see severe weather, but the chances that communities in the high risk area will see severe storms are generally around 30% or higher. So that chance that you could see a severe storm goes up even a little further when you get up there to that high risk. Something else just to go over as well. Remember, if you do have if you do know there's a severe weather outlook, make sure you let people know, like your family and friends. Just give them a heads up, like, oh hey, we got a chance of severe weather today. Stay weather aware, and know what to do in case a warning or something of that nature is issued. And make sure you always have multiple sources of weather. Don't let us be your only source. Make sure you follow your local National Weather Service office by looking up the nationalweatherservice.com, and they will have you can type in your zip code and that will pull it up there as well. Make sure you know who to trust on your local channels and stuff of that nature as well. Just make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings, because if something happens and we lose power, or we lose connection in some sort of way, we're not able to go live, or something occurs and Facebook goes down like we just seen, or YouTube or something of that nature occurs, you have multiple sources and multiple ways to get that information. That's the most important thing. Don't only have one source of weather. Make sure you have multiple, and make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings during severe weather events, just in case something happens and one doesn't let you know. You have other ways to receive it. That's something, this is something that we deal with often down here in this part of the country. So hopefully this helps you get a little bit better of an understanding on what these risks mean, and what we mean when we talk about these here as well. Next Wednesday, we're going to kind of go over the different products that you often see us talk about, leading up from basically what the severe weather outlook is to kind of more so leading up to the event on what the what we kind of follow as well with the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center are all the ones who issue the watches. Your local offices, National Weather Service offices, puts out the warnings and stuff of that nature. Now, yes, we can go live if we go, oh, hey, let's watch this storm closely. Let's go live and cover it. But we are not the ones that issue the watches or warnings. That is all the National Weather Service, and they do an awesome job at that. Great guys up there as well. So make sure you're following your local National Weather Service offices. Down here in Southwest Arkansas, those offices are National Weather Service in Little Rock and the one in Shreveport. So make sure you're following both of those as well, just to make sure you're weather aware and have multiple ways to receive information. And have a good rest of your Wednesday night. We'll have more info on the severe weather outlook for tomorrow and the chance of the rest of the 6-day forecast out tonight on our Facebook page. We'll have another morning outlook over here on YouTube come tomorrow morning as always. Thank you guys very much for trusting us right here with your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather.